my sweet friends, welcome back. I hope you are all well. Today we are going to be working on a flip-flap style folio, and why I think it reminds me of a flip-flap is because I have two sets of pages and I'm going to bring them in from alternate sides, and so they're going to fold in on top of each other. So let's just check this out. Now see, this is a very sturdy and a very chunky folio. We have lots of layers here, and then pockets with some beautiful inserts from a cut apart sheet. And then we have this page will open, and then this page will open, and then this page will open. So you can see there is tons of room in here for pictures and journaling. And that is going to be our project for today. If that sounds good to you, then stick around and we will make it together. So I'm working with this Wildflowers paper pad from DCWV. Picked this up from the store that's formerly known as Joann's, and so I have actually been seeing quite a few ads for them having a 90% off sale, and they all look a little bit different, so I'm leery to click on that. And if you have done that and found some great bargains or good deals, let me know down in the comments and maybe I'll give it a try too. And so one thing I really like about this paper pad, because I like all the extra detail I can get, is the gold foiling, and it did have a page of beautiful cut aparts that work really well for folios because there is room to write your journaling on there and so many nice details. So let's get started on the base. I'm going to pull in some 110-pound cardstock to start, and I could make this with one page that is 12 inches wide if I had that in 110 pounds, but I am going to choose two smaller pieces. I want to overlap them and have a double layer of thickness for the back so that it would be more sturdy. And so I am going to bring two different pieces together and join them so that I have the width that I need. And for my first piece, this is going to be a very left or right side base instruction. So you want to be careful as you're listening through because they're going to be a little bit different. And for the left side, we're going to have a height of 6 inches and a width of 9.5. And so I'm going to score that at 4 and also 4.5. And so the width on the spine for the left-hand side will be a little bit bigger to accommodate all the layers that we want to add inside. And I did already add some double-sided tape here. I'll come back in with my 2-glue combo, and I want to make sure that that is very well adhered. So I've just laid down a line of that, and then bring in the piece that will be for the right hand side. And so of course the depth on this one will be a little bit smaller, and so the measurement is going to be 6 inches high by 9.25 for this one, scored at 4 and also 4.25. So when I'm going to bring these two larger sections together, I'll just fold up there on my score line and set that corner right down into it. That way I can keep it nice and straight and even as I'm working along. And I know that that fold will work exactly just how I want. So as I mentioned, now we have 2 layers of that super sturdy thick cardstock on the back. Now I want to add some additional pages that will be where we get that alternating fold from. And so once again, we're going back to the left-hand side, and this one is going to be 6 high by 8.25, scored at 4 and 4.25. And so once again, that larger side is going to be on the left, and I do want to adhere this so that this side is in. And I'm going to bring these two pieces together with my 2-glue combo. So I'll just line those corners up here and then make sure it's straight and even along the side and the bottom. For the right hand side, I have a piece that is 6 high by 8 wide and scored at 4. So there isn't added depth on this side, but we do still want to continue our 2-glue combo. And remember, we've got these folded so that our cut corners will go together. So I also want to make sure that what will be the front cover is just as sturdy and nice as the back. And so I'm going to wrap these ends with some additional cardstock. And so for these pages, it's the 65-pound weight. And for those back pieces, it's 110. And so I do want to continue my 2 glue combo for this as well. I did already take the backing off one side, but I don't want to take it off both sides because it comes a little bit hard to manage that way. So let's go ahead and stick this here and bring this edge, trying to see in the camera and then also see on my work surface. So I can bring these together now and get that nice extra layer. I'll flip that over and then remove the backing. And then I'll just fold that over. That will sandwich that base layer in between. And so I want to repeat that same process for this side as well. And so that will be the same measurements and the same steps. So I'll just go ahead and do that off camera. Okay, so now I have both of those ends wrapped with that additional layer of cardstock. And here's how that flip flap or the alternating pages is going to work. So this would be the closest to the back. Then I'll put this one down and this one down and this one over. And so you can see how we're going to build in some space for some additional layering, which is what we want to do. And then also we want to take advantage of the fact that this page does not completely overlap this one. We can get another layer of pattern paper here for some extra detail. And so now that we have both the right and left sides adhered together, when we move forward, all of those pages are still going to be the same size. And so that will make it much easier to cut. Now I've chosen to use a beautiful matting for all of these pages. And so I think as I work along, the trick is going to be to see where I want to add the patterns and where I want to overlap. So when the pages are opened, does it make sense where the patterns are falling together? An additional thing to consider, if you have those cut aparts or printed images, where do you want to put pockets? Because you need somewhere to put those in. And so I think it works pretty well if you don't have a pocket on every page, but you can definitely choose to have several. I'm going to put 3 in for my book, and then the rest will just be full-size pages. And so the first set of pages you will see when you open it is going to have a pocket page here, and then just a regular page on this side. And so this is going to be the pattern that is going to show when the book is closed. And I do have my cardstock cut for all of these 4-inch wide pages to be 5 7/8 high by 3 7/8 wide. And then the pattern paper is going to be 5 3/4 high by 3 3/4 wide. And I do want to continue my 2 glue combo. So I have already added my double-sided tape there and pulled the backing, and then I'll just come in with my Tombow. So if you want to fold these pages out, that might be a little bit easier to get them flat on your work surface, but I think I'll be okay just working along here. You want to put a good amount of pressure so I get a good contact for the glue. Now you see you're going to get that stripe, and I think that is going to be fun. For this page, it will be a pocket, and so I am going to show you with this piece of scrap paper, but for the finished project, I'm going to switch to our collection paper. And so for the cardstock, it will be the same as all of the other 4-inch wide pages, but when we get to the pattern paper, the height is going to be different. So I'm going to come in at 7 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then I'll bring in my scoreboard and score it at 2. And so I'm going to get a pocket that is 2 inches deep. I think that is perfect for this because that's plenty of room for those inserts that we want to add. And I would come in with my Tombow right here, you see a little bit on either side, and then press that into place while the glue sets up, so it will be a nice strong pocket. And for the remaining steps, it would be just as you would for the straight pages. You're going to get the same measurement, but you can incorporate your cut aparts as well. So let's go ahead and do that. When I switch to this one, you see I have just folded up the B side, and so I'm going to get that nice layering of pattern. And I did already add that with my 2 glue combo, but let's put this one on the book. Let's flip that around and get that centered. Now you can see we're going to have so many layers of paper here that this is quite chunky and sturdy and pretty heavy, so that's really nice. Okay, so let's open up one more of these layers. Now we have 3 pages that are going to show together. And so I'm going to work with these patterns, but in the opposite ways. And so I'm going to choose the pattern that would be the front of the pocket for my right hand page, and I'll still continue my 2 glue combo. Put that one here. Then I'll add another one of my pages here that doesn't have the pocket. And you see I switched it out for that stripe. So now we have all of our patterns working together. Just making sure I get that centered. Okay, so we would open that one. This opens now. We have more opportunities for pages, and I am going to put a pocket page here. As I am working along, I will mention that it took only 2 full 12 by 12 pages of the colorful cardstock and 3 full-size pages, that's 12 by 12 of the pattern paper. It did come with that extra sheet of cut apart, so I'm not including that in case you want to have a printable. And it really didn't take too much paper to accomplish this very detailed and thick and sturdy folio. So let's continue to work along. Going to have this one closed, and you'll see that we're going to have 3 pages here. I've got my stripe on one side with my pocket. You can put these together however you like, and honestly you could mix and match any kind of pattern as long as you like the combination. So this is going to be a pretty good way to get through some of your stash. And then here is another bit of that stripe. Up here. So this cardstock measurement for these larger pages is going to be 5 7/8 by 4 7/8, and the pattern paper is going to be 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. And you'll see I mixed in that other pattern as well. Have the same thing cut for the back. I think it makes sense to go ahead and add that now before we have any of our layering and embellishments added to the front. So let's just flip that over and add that now. Oh my gosh, it's getting so nice and heavy. Okay, now we're left with the front cover, and of course I do want to include some trim here so that I can use this as a closure. So just wrap this around so that I can have a generously sized bow. I will just tack this down temporarily. Then I'll bring in that front cover, and I did join a couple of the patterns here working with my offcuts so that I can get a nice frugal use from that pattern paper, and adding that will help to sandwich that trim in between the layers, keep it very secure. Don't have quite as much room on this smaller section of our front cover, so we're going to have to adapt and add a slightly smaller focal image and doily. I'm just going to use this one that's got more of a square orientation. And then top that with the image from that cut apart sheet. I did cut this down quite a bit so that I could minimize the impact it will have on the front cover, but you can see it does have that beautiful foiled detail. I did put that with the cardstock border and then up on some spacers so that we can get some dimension. Just pop that right down into there. Before we add any more dimensional things to the cover, let's just go back through and put in our cut aparts. And so I just got a couple here. I decided because I have 3 pockets that I could put 6 of these inserts in, and as I mentioned, this is going to be so nice to add the journaling that goes with our pictures. And so I'll just pick a couple and slip those into these pockets. And then fold that back up with our alternating pages. Okay, now we can finish off the fun part of the cover. And so I just have a couple of these little pre-made flowers to start with, and I added my die cut foliage, netting, loopy twine bows, and a little bit more of that pretty ribbon. That's a stitch satin from Really Reasonable Ribbon, just to give it a little bit more detail. I have to really put this pretty low so that I don't cover up the words. I don't mind so much covering up the flower that was on that cut apart because I have more flowers here. And so I have just arranged these in more of a compact sort of arrangement because I only have that 4 inches to work with. But now that I have this ready, I can add it with some hot glue. Then of course I want to add some charms and a button to this corner. Put those on with string and also hot glue that in place. I feel like I want to add a little bit of extra glue to the back side of this leaf because it is popping up more than I had intended to. So I'll just squeak in here with a little bit of this hot glue and tack that down. That's better. Okay, of course I do want to add a couple of sequins here as my final detail, and I'll bring one of them up on the image and 2 down on the lower level. That will help to balance out that charm and button detail. Put these on with some Tombow. Oh, can you hear the cat? Lily would like to be in the video and she's saying hi. Make sure that you all say hi, Lily, in the comments below. I'm just going to go ahead and tie this bow here. Then I will cut off the excess ribbon at an angle so that it won't fray. That's going to be it for our flip flap style pocket folio. Lily and I sure do hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and of course check in the description for those links. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.